want to start out with our original sin. When Adam was in the garden with Eve, Adam got the law. God gave Adam the law. He said, there's the tree you can't touch. He said, I've given you everything else in this garden. Do what you want with it. But there's that one tree you can't touch. Well, then along comes Eve. Eve was deceived. Eve took the forbidden fruit. And then the Bible says that she gave it to her husband who was there with her, and he ate. Adam was right there the whole time that Eve was being deceived. So what was Adam's sin? Adam's sin was simply apathy. And it's been our sin ever since. And did you notice when God cursed the man and the woman in the garden? What did he tell Adam was going to be his curse? He was going to have to work and sweat, and everything he was going to have to do was going to have to come at a great price. Why? Because God knew that apathy was his problem. So what was he going to make the man do? Work. Don't go to sleep. Now you can trace this all the way through the Bible. Everybody, you talk about David. What was David's sin? Well, Bathsheba. Well, I would argue with that. Yes, Bathsheba was the consequence. But if you read in 1 Chronicles 20, how was David known? David was a warrior, right? Goliath, David was a warrior king. That's what got him his fame. That was his passion. That was his gift from God. That was his calling. That's what gained him his fame and his kingdom. And in 1 Chronicles 20, it says something very telling about how Adam's sin was alive and well. It says, in the spring, when kings go out to battle, David stayed behind. Now, here was the warrior king who every year, evidently, up to that point, had gone out to battle in the spring. This time he decided to stay behind. And what happens? The fall. Just like the Garden of Eden. Let's fast forward again, Mark 14. Our icons are champions of the faith, those disciples. Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane. The disciples are sleeping. Hello, Adam. The disciples are sleeping. And 2 times he comes to them and he says, guys, be on the alert. The Son of Man's about to be betrayed. Why are you sleeping? And he goes away and he prays and he comes back and, they're asleep again. And he said something at that moment that is probably the most prophetic thing he ever said. And I hope you really hear this. The last time he came back to them, he said, why are you sleeping and taking your rest while the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners? Fast forward to today, guys. Why do we sleep and take our rest while the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners? It's Adam's sin. It's our Achilles heel. We see pictures of starving children in third world countries all the time with their bloated bellies and their bulging eyes and the flies crawling up their noses. And as horrible as all that is, we know how to fight it. And it fires us up. We want to give financially to feed them and clothe them and house them. And we want to go overseas, as so many do, to minister to them. But we need to understand that in America, guys, we face a far greater danger than what we see over there, because we face an enemy we don't even recognize. We understand the enemies of starvation and poverty. Buy this, buy that, do this, and we can take care of that. But how can we fight an enemy we don't even acknowledge exists? And I would submit to you that that's exactly what we're doing here in America. Jesus' most pointed rebuke to all of his 7 churches in the book of Revelation was to the church at Laodicea, because they were self-deluded. They didn't know that they were poor, pitiful, blind, and naked. They thought they were rich and in need of nothing. But Jesus looked at their deeds and cried foul. And he said, you make me sick. You make me throw up. Now, take the sons of Adam, whose Achilles heel is apathy and abandonment, and put him in the culture of security and comfort and wealth that we've had here in America for far too long, and you have the perfect Laodicean environment for his downfall. It's about self-delusion, and you can't fight an enemy you don't even see. We need to see that enemy, guys. We need to recognize he's beating us down and he's winning the battle right now. And we need to make it a point to step into harm's way in our faith. We need to stop being spectators in the great game Jesus has out there for us and get into the race.